All right, we are live. My mic working? Yeah, looks to be. What's up, YouTube? We're back on that. All right. So, unfortunately, we wiped kind of towards the middle of last stream. But fortunately, our replacements for last team are pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the encounters. We got Shiny too, which is amazing. I just had to go with Totodile this time. Well, I shouldn't say decided. I misclicked when it asked me what region I wanted. So yeah, you got Scraggy, which is gonna be really good for the first gym. I'm super excited. Kinda cool. Again, I've had, I think 4 out of my 5 runs I've had Tentacool. We got Poochyena, which I do like Poochyena. However, it's level 9. This thing still only has Tackle, so I'm mildly frustrated, but it is what it is. And then we got Paris, which at first I was like, eh, but I am excited to get a Paris. I do like Paris, mainly because there's a lot of status opportunity with poison and paralysis. I think it gets spore at some point too, which is pretty good. And then we also got Cubchoo, and I've had this in another run, but that run did not last very long. And I was like kind of skeptical about it, but after going against Falkner, I realized because this is pure ice, this is going to be really good against Falkner. Some of the flying types that we're going to have to deal with, some of the grass types, I think it'll be good in Brock's gym as well for us. So I am excited to have an ice type. And then we got Pikachu. That was our Viridian Forest encounter, which is sick. So again, that'll also be good for Falkner. Shouldn't be super helpful versus Brock. But it is what it is. It's fine. I've been toying with maybe just throwing rare candies into the mix. That way when I reset, it's just quicker to get up to level. Because that's the most tedious part. And really, for the people that have come in to the stream, like I genuinely think the last thing they want to do is watch me grind. Because I'll be honest, like, the game actually caps you at level 16. It's not like a, what do you call it? It's not like a self-inflicted cap. The game will actually do it, which is nice. I saw some people online that complained about it. Preventing over-leveling is super helpful, because I don't really want to over-level. And the levels of your rivals will scale to you. Well, if I'm going against my rivals, I want my full move pool for the level cap available. I don't think that's insane to say. So, by having the game do the level cap for you, I think it's super helpful. Play nice. Target. Loses its will to fight. Interesting. Pikachu's leveling up pretty quick. Can't complain too much. It's not like Poochyena that took forever. But to explain why I'm doing this in Route 1 and not Viridian Forest where I can get higher level encounters, that's because I really don't want to lose them on to grinding. I think that's the lamest thing ever. So, doing more fights on lower level encounters, I don't really have to worry about that as much. Fingers crossed. That was closer than I wanted. Quick attack is nice. Any priority move is nice. Alright, I think we're probably good to move on to Viridian Forest. Excuse me. I gotta turn on auto run. Oh man. Oh boy. I want to take my Zen out. This thing is tweaking me this morning. Alright. We're gonna go grind in Viridian Forest. We'll get the team up. Yeah, I found out last stream after looking it up. So Shiny Claws isn't you replace your encounter for that route with the shiny you find. You can just catch the shiny regardless, which is crazy. And so 2 streams ago I ran into 3 shinies. I ended up killing 2. Yeah, 2. Well, no. I killed 1. So I killed 1. Oh. Electro Ball this early? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. The speed is increased with the nature here. So if I can find a way to really increase the speed further, this thing is going to be unstoppable. But yeah, so the Shiny Claws, if I had known, I could have had so many encounters. a few streams ago. And I got a Vivillon on my last run, and I loved it. Vivillon was amazing. But I like Viridian Forest because Pikachu's, for some reason, gives so much EXP. Icicle Crash is wild. I just don't think we're bulky enough for Bide. So we have decent physical attack. Icicle Crash is super nice. Holy cow. And I get Icy Wind? Wow. This thing's actually busted. I did not realize that. Yeah, once this Poochyena gets a dark type move, it's over, man. Let's go. I have speed increased on this. I guess it's fine. Yeah, its speed increase is fine. I don't mind it too much. I'm not super crazy about the ability on Poochyena. I almost rather switch it to Strong Jaw. Because I don't know if in Radical Red, Poochyena if it gets access to all the fangs. But if it does, it could be really helpful. If I only have 2 ability pills, I almost just don't want to mess with it too much. I forget, what does it have for Quick Feet? Yeah, I mean, it's solid, for sure. But if I had some moves that worked well with increased speed, or just some sort of, I don't know. If I could find a way to really play with that, I could see where it could be beneficial, but I don't really think I can. Brother. That's not what I want to do. I gotta switch this out. Nice. Yeah, Scraggy, getting a Scraggy encounter is just so ridiculous. Swagger's such a risk, though. Because if I can't get to hit itself in confusion, then it's +2 attack. And if it snaps out after like one turn, yeah, Swagger is just, it's too much of a risk. I feel like it works against me, not really for me whenever I encounter it, which is fine. But using that as my excuse, I'm not gonna use it. Okay. Now I am curious. I wonder if I get. I imagine I'll get Crunch. I know this thing gets Bite and or Crunch relatively early, but I don't remember when like you get Ice Fang. And I imagine it'll give you another water type move too. I might have 2 moves by the level 16 cap that I get new. I have no idea what they'll be. Okay, Bite. It's kind of what I thought one was going to be. But Ice Fang would be super nice. I really don't need it too much right now. Okay. Ice Fang, kind of like I thought. Rage is nice. Yeah, I'll go Leer. I guess this isn't going to get a whole lot of special attacking moves. So I guess I could minus defense, attack increase on this. and this thing would be disgusting. That looks so ugly. Yeah. I might switch the nature. I think that's what I'll do. I'm actually gonna go do it now so I don't forget. So I would hate to forget to do that, honestly. Just popped a pimple on my head. Yeah, I would hate to forget to do that. But this thing will be pretty busted if I can... I just have to commit to it, you know? Lonely nature. So what is it now? Oh, I did the same thing. Okay. It's attack I want to increase. Defense I want to decrease. Okay, there we go. 38 attack. Not bad. What's the speed on this? Hang on. 28. It's not as bad as I thought. Why does this have attack increase now? I did it for Pikachu. Okay. No, we're changing that. I was about to say, why did this all of a sudden get a lot slower? Okay. Yeah. That's pretty nice. 39 speed. And then this. I don't know. Like this build, I mean, it's cohesive in the sense of like, if I get status, I'll have really, really good speed, but like, I don't know, I almost care more about just getting a super high attack on this. Which I don't think is crazy. Yeah. I think 9 nature is the way to go. And honestly, like I just think I gotta switch. I gotta switch the ability. Cause drawing jaw is like plus 30%, right? Like it's a fair bit. like it's, I don't know. To me, it's worth it enough. Oh, it goes to a runaway. I can't even get strong jaw. It'd be freaking runaway. Okay. It's annoying. Yeah, I mean, shit's gonna be nice. What is it current? What does Scraggy currently have? Intimidate? Hell no. we're keeping that. No question we're keeping Intimidate. Alright, so that one's done. Actually, let me see. What does Meowth get? Technician. It's pretty good. But 1.5%. So that's 1.5 times. Okay. So if we have move that does 30 damage, does 45. Okay, so that's okay. If there was a way for me to get an item that boosts speed, that would be kind of crazy. Oh, it's all 16 now. This thing is just so slow. What the fuck? Hello? Okay. Oh wait, I can get bug bite from the guy over here. I got so excited. Okay. That changes things. Raises speed. I don't really like that. Like I'm not super good at obviously knowing natures or anything like that. But when going for perfect EVs and IVs and like you have the option, I think it's a lot more beneficial to go for something where you're all like the mon is already good. So if it's got a high attack stat, like a high base attack, go for a nature that increases the attack further. Like just really buy into what the mon is good at. But I can see the idea of like trying to balance it out further. I just feel like you should have some mons that are really good at some things and maybe not as such with others. But I don't know if that thinking makes sense to anyone but me. That's fine. I don't think I was gonna say I don't think I've completed a Nuzlocke. But that's not true. I did one on, I think it was, yeah, it was X. Yeah, it was Pokemon X on my 3DS, and that was pretty easy. I mean, I had like stupid deaths because it was my first time doing it. And then for a while there, I was going for Fire Red Nuzlocke, and I actually streamed the whole thing. And I felt pretty prepared, but like I walked in, and I kind of ignored the first Elite Four member. I think she's like Ice or something, and I prepped for everyone else, and I was like, well, I have some coverage on these mons that can help me with the first one. And she just rolled my team because I just messed up. I don't really think I'm going to go against a big-ass Pokemon. I mean, I guess Hippopotas or whatever. Hippopotas might be good for her, so I guess I'll hang on to it. So, I mean, that's fine. What does this evolve? This evolves at 36. Okay. 28. Okay. 36. 16. Thunder or Shiny Stone. 23. Okay. So I should have a Parasector next for if I can keep Paris alive and I can keep this run alive. I should have a Parasector Misty. Which is ideal. That is an ideal scenario. Maybe I'll take Quick Feet on this because I mean, Runaway is so buns. I don't know any like niche uses for it, but to me it's so buns. This is gonna get Sucker Punch, right? Yes. That's nice. Roar's kind of nice. I don't really think I'm going to have like a double team on. That's insane. So this should be fine. Nice. Okay, we have one more mon to get to 16. Actually, two more if we want to do Meowth. Which I don't really want to do, but I guess we can. I think Paris also needs to get to 16. I don't know about Tentacool. Okay, who do we have leading? Who? Play nice. It's a Growl I'm cool with. Hmm. So close, and this should get us there. Yep. Okay. I learned bite too. I don't even know what type this. Oh, I know if this was like Galar, not Galar. There's like a different Meowth variant. I don't know the region for sure. Okay. That's just normal. I love normal types though. This thing's fast. This thing's really fast. Wow. Stab scratch is nice. Is Technician at or under 60? Less than 60. Okay. Okay. So bite wouldn't get an increase. If bite got an increase, that would be insane. Okay, so I still need to get these two up as well. Getting bug bite was such a huge brain play, man. How am I always getting poisoned with this thing? It's so frustrating. How did I get poisoned? Does that thing have synchronize? What does my Pikachu have again? Does that have synchronize? Mine is static. Okay. I mean, static's fine. But, like, realistically, how many physical attacking moves am I letting... How did I get healed? How many physical attacking moves am I letting Pikachu get hit by? I think bug types are so criminally underutilized. Like, the more I realize how good, like, the earlier bug types are for utility and stuff, they're really good. And, like, Dustox, I actually think is a somewhat viable Pokemon to use. Like, Vivillon carried my last run. And really, like, when I got into the Brock fight, what screwed me is I didn't realize Sandstream was a thing. I also didn't realize the Hippo got a speed increase in that too. But, like, I was going through it, and then he sends out the Lileep, and I was like, okay, I will send in my water type, and it should be able to deal with this. And it had, I think, like, water absorb or something. So, like, water type moves can't hit it, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I'm not crazy about the nature on this. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not a position I want to be in. So then, like, the 2 water types I brought couldn't hit it. I was like, well, damn. That's rough. And it's not like the grass type would do anything because it's grass rock. So, yeah, so I screwed myself there. But if I had, because I don't know if it had, it might have Rock Tomb, but I had a fast Vivillon. So my flying type would have done numbers. And then, like, the Cacnea was also kind of insane. So, and, like, I know, like, I definitely should have played better for it, but I'm not going in completely blind. But in a sense, I'm going in completely blind because I don't know enough about, I want to say I don't know enough about the mechanics. But I think about, like, Nuzlocke mechanics and, like, these harder ROMs, like, I don't know. I'm humble enough to say, like, I don't know enough. So, while yes, I do feel like I'm cheating a little bit by seeing, hey, here's what the movesets are, here's what the abilities are. Like, sometimes I don't know what more of the niche stuff means. Because, like, I played Pokemon pretty basically. And I only played really through, I played Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. I own Scarlet and Violet. But, like, I probably only played the first 2 gyms, if that. But yeah, like, the last Pokemon games I super got into was X and Y, and, like, I played those so much. And my first game that I got, and I got it right when it came out, was Pokemon Black. So, like, I grew up on Gen 5, and this is where I'm fortunate to be, like, you know, early 20s, is because, like, when I grew up playing Pokemon, I got in right as the series shifted from, like, the old style Pokemon games, so, like, Gens 1 through 4, to, like, the new style, and that's, like, 6 through now. And I was in, like, the lost generation of Gen 5, which, like, on the internet, people talk so much trash about forever, and now it's, like, so loved. And it's so wild to me to see, like, that change as well. Because I was told forever, like, oh, you know, like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is, like, where it's at. And Soul Silver was my second Pokemon game, and I really enjoyed it. The only reason I got it is because, again, I was super young. But after school, I would go to this lady's house, and she babysat a few kids, but all, like, elementary to early middle school age. So, like, we were all similarly aged, but there was this guy, his name was Mike. He was 2 grades ahead of me, I think. We were, like, in elementary school. But he would bring his DS, and we could bring our electronics, like, once a week. And remember, this is, like, I don't know, early 2010s. So he'd bring his DS, and he would be able to walk with his Pokemon. It'd be right behind him. It'd be following him around. I was like, that's insane. That's actually so cool. And I had Pokemon Black. I just recently got it. And I was going all over the place trying to figure out, how do I get this thing to walk behind me? And I couldn't figure it out. And that's funny enough, that's actually how I explored the game, was literally, like, getting items, was talking to everyone, trying to get my Pokemon to walk behind me. I didn't know that you couldn't. I didn't really have access to the internet like that, you know? But, yeah, so my next game, after Black and White, so I'd gotten Black for Christmas, and then my birthday is in April. So a few months later, my grandfather had gotten me Soul Silver. So that's how I was able to play both and learn both, and Dude, it was awesome. Like I loved it, and like Soul Silver, I loved it as a game. Um, but like anyone that was younger and played Soul Silver during that time, like, I mean, what'd you do? You had, I mean, I picked Cyndaquil, so like, you had your Typhlosion that was insanely overleveled. Um, you had an Ampharos because it was like cool. Um, but it was like it was decently leveled. It wasn't like super high leveled. You had an Evolution of some kind that was not a very high level. Um, and then you had the Red Gyarados, and like maybe two other mons you thought were cool. Maybe you had like a super underleveled, I don't know. I was gonna say Suicune, but that's later in the game. Yeah, some more underleveled mons, and then like you get Ho-Oh or Lugia, right? And like that's how you play the game. So yeah, like I wasn't really focused on the super grindy aspect of it and really going out and like learning the Pokemon, and that wasn't until I got older. Whereas in like Black and White, like you pretty much just stop gaining XP if you're battling mons that are lower level than you, which is I think is a good system. I actually quite like the system. I think it's kind of similar to. I think it's similar in premise to how this game works. But yeah, and then you have access to, I mean, Gen 1, Gen 2. So you like learn all those mons, and then like I grew up on the Gen 5 Pokedex in playing Black and White, right? So like I had learned those pretty easily, so it was pretty integrated into my Pokemon knowledge. Ooh. 2 to 5 turns. With Technician, this actually kind of goes crazy. Hang on, Technician's actually insane. Yeah, oh my gosh, okay. So I had learned the Gen 5 decks really easily, right? Because like that's what I grew up playing. And then you gotta think like the anime that was on around the time. I think it was Black and White, but like I was watching the Diamond and Pearl, so like I was learning all that stuff too. So Soul Silver, you learn Gen 1 and 2 really well, and you hear about Red like even in the game, and eventually you get to go fight him. Like that's really cool. So that makes you want to go play the older stuff. So it wasn't until I was like 9 or 10, which for me it felt like forever. Really, it was like 2 or 3 years. It wasn't until 9 or 10 that I was playing, like the GBA games. And what's interesting about that? So my dad had a Game Boy. He was not into Pokemon as a kid, so I didn't have access to the Pokemon games on there, but he had a Game Boy. My DS Lite, my younger brother, who was a child at the time, he threw my DS Lite in the toilet. So my parents got me a 3DS like the following Christmas. Well, if you don't have a DS Lite, you can't really play GBA games, because the 3DS, it did away with like the cartridge that goes underneath. So I had no real access to it without either another DS Lite, a Game Boy Advanced, or I think it's a Game Boy SP with a backlight. I think those were the only ways that you could. So my parents had got me a Game Boy Advance for Christmas, but not the SP, so it didn't have a backlight. So I got the experience of like playing Leaf Green, playing Ruby, playing Emerald, all like the old way of like you're sitting down with like a flashlight at a certain angle so you're not getting a crazy reflection. playing outside on my Game Boy because, again, like, the lighting was so bad on that thing, man. But I even got close to beating Pokemon Red on cartridge, and I didn't do it on GBA because I didn't know you could put those cartridges in GBA. I did that on Game Boy, and then my mom had gotten me Crystal one year, and I knew then you could use GBA for that, so that's what I did, and I got decently into Crystal, but at some point I was just like, and this is, I guess, me being a younger person and not being nostalgia tied to the GBA games. I guess, like, or the GBC and GB games is like I'm going through and I'm playing Pokemon Red, right? And the whole time I'm like, dude, this is such a pain in the ass. Like, I think the thing that annoyed me most was the bag. You only have a certain amount of stuff in your bag. And it's like, I know it's like now, I think there was a cap in some of the GBA games, but like you could actually sort the bag in the Game Boy games, and it wasn't just this like list of stuff you have. So, like in GBA games, like if I want to carry 99 Pokeballs, I can. Like if I want to carry 99 Pokeballs in Red, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, so you had to item manage, and that's annoying as hell. So item managing is annoying, and then graphics horrible. For the time, I'm sure they were great. I'm sure it was great for the time. But for 2010's me, when we had access to the Xbox One, like Forza 5 on the Xbox One, just like beautiful graphics. I know it's a weird game to use, but going more Pokemon related, like when your first game is Black and White, which are the most stunning games ever produced on the DS, and I say that hands down, no question. I mean, you can argue Mario games, whatever. It's the most beautiful game that was ever produced on the regular DS. Period. It just is, and that's a fact. But when you have that, and you're going back and you're playing Red, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, okay, whatever. Like, I get the appeal, but it's like, whatever. So yeah, like I would just rather play Fire Red at that point, right? And really, I didn't get into the GBA games until I was using an emulator, but for like randomizers. But like, I really get into the GBA games until I think I was like 16. I was like around 16, and I'd gotten my first job, and I bought a DS Lite, and then I got some like Chinese produced Pokemon. They're like, I think the reproductions is what they're called. Is like the polite way to say it. But they were like for sure just knockoffs. But they worked fine. I mean, you could save your game and everything like that. That wasn't an issue. Yeah, they worked just fine. And that's when I got into it, because like I got all the GBA Pokemon games for $20, you know, and I got into it and I played them all then. But again, going back to the point I was trying to make is like, so yeah, like I started on Black and White, learned that whole dex while playing Soul Silver and like learning both of those dexes. My cousin had an extra copy of Diamond, but he gave me the wrong one. So the copy of Diamond he ended up giving me was his complete copy. He never asked for it back. So I never reset the game or anything, but this Diamond copy, he had, it wasn't a living dex, but he had every Pokemon. So he had every Pokemon, including like all the weird event ones, So if you don't know, in Gen 4, there were Pokemon you could get in like Diamond and Pearl that you could transfer over to Soul Silver and Heart Gold, and it would trigger events. So if you're unfamiliar, like I'm sure you've seen the Arceus event, where you take it to the ruins of Alph, and then you get to see Cynthia. I think you go to Sinjo Falls or something like that. And there's this big event, and you get to pick Giratina, Palkia, or Dialga, and I think you get like their egg form or something. You get them at level 1, but it's really cool. And then there's one with Celebi, where you take it to Ilex Forest, and like you travel back in time. He had all of those. Like there's one with like the Pichu, and there was like a golden Pichu, and like you get one with like a messed up ear. All of that. He had all of it. So I got to experience all of that too, which was super cool. And then at that same babysitter's house, I found a Pokemon Platinum. And I said to her, whose is this? And she said, well, I don't know, but ask around. So I asked around. It wasn't anyone's. And she said, well, let's leave it on the counter for a few days, and if it's still there next week, you can take it. So I said, okay. So that's what I did. And then I had access to Platinum. So by like 7 years old, I had beat Black, beat the Johto part of Soul Silver, and I was pretty deep into Platinum, I imagine. So I had learned Gens 1 through 5. So by the time Black and White 2 came out, and they integrated all these other mons, I had known them already. So I knew like what I wanted, what I didn't want, and all that. So like I had a great experience coming up with that, and I think like I came in at an awesome time for the series, like a very transitional part. Whereas like if I had come in maybe when my brother did, and like his first real games I think was Sword and Shield. He got into it a lot later than I did. But like I think he got in like around Sword and Shield was the first games that he beat. Yeah. But he was playing X and Y for kind of a while. And I don't really think he played Sun and Moon. But like I think for him, like the games that were coming out that were a big deal for his generation would be like Sun and Moon. Whereas for me, like it was Black and White. And those were very different games because Black and White came out like right after the hype of Soul Silver and Heart Gold. You know? And then Black and White 2 came out, and like those were pretty underhyped, but I still got like a pre-order copy and went to GameStop and got that. So yeah, dude, I've had an awesome Pokemon experience. And then like X I got I think the Christmas after it came out. That was really cool. Yeah, so I've had pretty awesome experiences with it all. Very thankful. But yeah, I love the series, and I wish that I would have stuck with it a little more instead of kind of getting away from it a little bit. It's a great series, man. Like Pokemon is an awesome experience. Nothing beats it. But yeah, I think really what kind of shooed me away from the series was like, I don't know, probably Sun and Moon, if I'm being completely honest. And like I never played like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which I know people liked. What? I'm trying to look at these mons here that this guy's gonna run. Yeah, I never got into Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and like I've heard they're good. I'm sure they're lovely. But I never really got into it. You know, like I didn't like Sun and Moon, and I was like, I don't really know what the differences are between the two. Like I'm not really about that life trying to figure that out. This Numel is gonna be a little annoying. Trico, what do I have for that? I guess Paris. I can have Cupchew. Okay, Meditite should be taken care of. The only thing I'm not crazy about is that it has a fighting type move. It has no psychic type move. So, I don't know. I imagine, what's the speed stat on this? 26? I definitely outspeed. With Mightyena, right? Yeah. Oh, it got Strong Jaw. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I outspeed. So that should kill. Corphish, Pikachu should do numbers. I guess Rock Tomb's a little scary. Knockoff's a little scary. I might just... no, I'll keep the item on. And then Numel. What's the ability? Simple. Ability simple. Double number of seconds. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so this can actually be kind of crazy if it flame charges, but shouldn't on my water type. And then Trico should be took care of by Cubchoo. Although, let me see. Rock, fire, steel fighting. Okay. So it's got 2 fighting type moves and a rock type move. I almost don't know if Cubchoo is the answer. But I'll throw it in. This has bad defense, so I think if I Icicle Crash, it should be fine. I don't really know how does Unburden trigger? Double speed stat once held item is consumed. Okay. Okay, does Cubchoo have a higher speed stat right now? No, not even close. Okay. Icicle Crash should do it. Icicle Crash should do it. I would be concerned if it did not. And who else will we take just to be safe? As much as I like Scraggy, I don't really want to risk that. We'll throw a Meowth in. Some of these have fighting type moves. I'll look again. Yeah. I'll go with Meowth. No, I'll go with Tentacool. Alright. I will be right back. Oh, my mic was not. It was still muted. Words. Okay. Alright, I'm back though. Real quick, I'm going to double check one thing. Okay, speed stat 26 for Metatite. It's 32 for Mariana. We got plus attack. Yeah, I mean, this thing is going to absolutely rip. This thing's already slow as hell. I low-key might go plus attack on this. Let me check the moves it'll get. Okay. All right. Yeah, it'll get... I don't know. I think I'll keep this nature. It seems like it gets a variety of stuff. Can I get hail? Ice Beam at 57 seems kind of late. Okay. Oh. Bear Tick superpower. Interesting. Flail is interesting. Gets Ice Hammer. 65. Snowscape is interesting. Not seeing hail. I don't think this gets hail. Oh, it becomes ice fighting. Yeah. If I could get hail on this, then I'd be happy, but I don't think I'm going to, unfortunately. Yeah, not getting hail is a bummer. That kind of doesn't help me as much as I'd like it to. And then Paris. I don't know. I might go for increased attack minus special defense. I think it's the move. Right? Because then it'll have a crazy attack stat. $35. Which for not being evolved is pretty nice. And this minus attack plus defense. Okay. It's not really a physical attacker, so I guess that's fine. Doesn't have a whole lot of defense. Yeah. I might go plus special attack minus attack. I think that's kind of the move there. Yeah, I'm cool with that. It's got crazy special defense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. This is by far our strongest Mon, and with Strong Jaw, this thing is insane. Boost fighting moves by 50%. Was Bite? Is that 60 base? Yeah. So this becomes 90 base with our attack. Yeah. That thing is disgusting. That thing's ridiculous, actually. Holy cow. Alright, we've got Old Rival up ahead. Alright, first rival battle. I think we should be fine. Like, no question. Fake out's a little annoying. Nice. Trico. Trico sees power up punch, I imagine. I forgot to put berries on these guys. Frick. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I forgot to put items on. That's not good. That's not good. Okay. He sees power up punch, I imagine. I almost think going for Sucker Punch would be better. Ooh, no! That's not good. I should have just went Bite. Now this thing's super fast. Why'd go for Rock Tomb? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Corefish? What does Corefish see? Maybe Aquajet. Might see Aquajet. Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, Numel's got Bulldoze, which is a little concerning. I might go for Ancient Power. I think it'll go for Bulldoze. Yep. We should tank this. That did more than I thought. Okay, this becomes a little more concerning. We have Aquajet. This should kill. I forgot about that. Pasho Berry. Okay. Flame Charge. Gets its speed up, I imagine. Okay. +2 because of its ability. This is a little more concerning now. But we do have priority Aquajet, so it doesn't matter. Alright, good fight. Good fight. Good fight. Not worried. Let's see. Okay, next we'll have Stuffle, which is kind of concerning for the next trainer that we're going to go against. Thrilled. Cool. Nice. Okay. So we'll be dealing with Stuffle next. Aerial Ace is a little concerning. Okay. So, yeah, low sweep, aerial ace. Who do I want against this? Do I have anyone with like a fighting type move? Just randomly? I don't think so. Yeah, so definitely can't send this in. What's Fairy weak to? I know Fairy is like weak to Fairy. Poison and Steel. Okay. So then bringing Tentacool should be good here. So definitely bring Tentacool. We'll bring Paris for status. I think Pikachu, honestly, for the Stuffle isn't terrible. Because Cubchoo's the only one that I don't really think is that useful for this fight. So we'll bring Scraggy for the Audino. That should be fine. We should be able to roll with that. Okay. Hello, item. Thank you very much. Hello, antidote. I don't really want to mess with that. We're going to save too. Oh. Alright. Second major battle. We are a lot faster, so I think Electro Ball should do numbers. Or not. That's not good. I also forgot to give someone an item. Berry proc. Low sweep again. That's nice. That's really not doing anything. Bite flinch. Crit's nice. Okay, the question becomes, does Aqua Jet kill? We're gonna go for it. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Lucky as hell. Audino? Yeah. Okay. His swagger, protect, wish, yawn. Just trust. Okay. This thing's heavy as hell, right? then this straight up just has metronome. That's nice. Avalanche? Goodbye. Really? Damn, Clefairy's weak as hell. Alright, we'll take it. Goodness. I thought I had the infinite repel on. I guess not. Okay. Our next trainer, Bugcatcher Sammy with Cricketune. Firefighting Rock Steel. Okay, it's got Rock Tomb, which is a little concerning. How fast is it? 29. Okay. I think bringing Paris here is just bad. Actually, but I like Supersonic on Tentacool. I don't know. I guess Scraggy will get subbed out. It's really this Dustox that's giving me trouble. Like, I almost think going Croconaw is going to be fine for it. And Volbeat. The Volbeat's tough, dude. It's fast. I don't know. Meowth might be an option. I mean, as much as I love using Pikachu, I just don't really see it being a player in this, unfortunately. Oh. Yeah, I don't really see Pikachu being a big player in this. Is this still pure water? Yeah. Okay. This is not faster. Oh. Yeah, this is not faster than any of these. We'll take it though. I actually think against the Dusthawks this might not be bad. But for the Cricketune is what's throwing me off. So I think Ice Fang isn't bad. Yeah. I think we'll just kind of wing it and see how it goes. I'm just not super confident in any of these. I didn't do as much as I needed it to. Which is unfortunate. It sees Bullet Seed. Who's tanking Bullet Seed? It's got Bulldoze. Mightyena just needs to kill when it comes out. I mean, that's just is what it is. Why'd it go for Bulldoze? What the fuck? It's annoying as hell. Okay. With a speed drop, am I still faster? Because I think this is 29 speed. I don't think I'm faster. We might be speed tied. I think bite. Bug bite. Okay. I did not know Dark was that weak to that, I'll be honest. That kind of screws my plan. Like a lot. Can I one-shot this with Sucker Punch? We'll look. And what's it holding? Lumberry. Okay, and then I've got my Yenna. With Strongjaw. This is all 16. What's our nature and moves on this? Okay, naughty. Okay. Alright, that's not going to do it. So we have to switch. Okay. Give me Cubchew. That's 16. That's got Slush Rush. It's got Oranberry. Rash Nature. Okay. Icy Wind. Aqua Jet. Icicle Crash. Very low chance to hit KO. Oh man. What did this just give me? What the fuck? Okay, Cupchew. 16. I think we're going to lose him on. I don't know for sure. I think we're going to lose him on, though. Bro, where is Slush Rush? There we go. All right. Okay. Fury swipes. Okay. Okay, I can maybe get chip damage. I've really screwed myself. I might have to sack it. I might have to sack it. Which I really don't want to do. But I think I'm just going to have to. Yeah. I'm going to have to sack it. Unless I roar, but I don't think I outspeed. I definitely don't outspeed this. I definitely don't outspeed this. That sucks. It's gonna go for Mega Drain, I imagine. My question is, does Aqua Jet, does Croconaw, Aqua Jet kill? It's Lonely Nature, actually. If I had torrent, I maybe could have, but I don't. Okay, 11. Let's say like 45% for that. No, it does not. Okay. I think I have to. I think Icicle Crash would one hit. Yeah. I think we're just gonna have to go for it. Okay. Dustox has arrived. Mm-hmm. I think we have a Rash Nature on this, right? Yeah. Okay. I also have an Orange Berry on this, which I'll throw in on there. Okay. Icicle Crash can get us to half. Unless this thing protects. What if I play nice this? It's a special attacker, though. Let's see, Psybeam. I could... see Psybeam. I could switch in Shrooms to tank it. And put on a poison powder, but what's its ability? Shield dust? What does that do? Oh. Okay. So I don't think I can get flinch then. So flinch strats I don't think would move. Maybe it will make a difference. But what's better? Going for stun spore? Or poison powder? I kind of think poison powder. I think I'll tank one and then switch. Goes for toxic. Interesting. It's got black sludge. I'm not faster. It might even protect. We might wipe here. Okay, I think it sees a kill. It goes for toxic again. Why? I'm gonna hope for a paralysis. Maybe I can get a flinch? I don't know. Okay. Kind of expected that. I mean, this is insane. I didn't realize I was confused. Okay, well I think that's the run. It gets to a point where it's just like, what can I do? 3 deaths, man. I mean, that's just insane. I played that so bad. That's so bad. Damn. Yeah, I really don't think I can... The run might be done. I played that so poorly. Yeah, I just played that so bad. Actually, I'm going to take their items. That's so upsetting. I'm so pissed. I'm such an idiot. I needed a flying type. That's what it came down to, honestly. And I didn't get one. And unfortunately, it is what it is. 5,000. I thought it was 3,000. I need balls though. I think I just need to sell another ball. That sucks. And this was a Cyndaquil last time for me, which was pretty good. Interesting. Water ground. That's nice. I almost don't even feel like I need to change the nature. Where's the earliest prism skill you can get? Okay, Celadon department store. It's kind of late. Dude, this thing is so trash. It would pay off big time, but... It gets tackle and flail. This thing is so useless right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. Dude, I'm so cooked. I'm so unbelievably cooked. I think I need a reset. I'm so cooked. It really depends what I get here. Starly? What the hell? Yeah. Shardy berry might not be bad. What moves are we working with? Wing attack is nice. Did that waste my berry? It did. Part of me is hoping I run into a shiny and shiny claws this. Because Lord knows I need it. But I'll probably be looking for a while. If I have no deaths with Faulkner, then I'll probably keep going with the run. But if I have a Faulkner death, then I mean there's pretty much no reason to keep going. It would make no sense. Getting kind of low. And Starly's a fine encounter, it's just like I could have used it a while ago. I know I was like, oh, if I had a flying type, I would have been fine. Yeah, if I had gotten Starly freaking an hour ago, or whenever I started this run, we would have been chilling. We would have been all good. But we're not. That's nice. Okay. Paralysis is a little annoying. Yeah, paralysis is something else. I guess I'm not going to run into that shiny. If I did, it'd probably be a Bidoof. Knowing my luck. I don't think I would get Water Gun Barrel until after this gym. So it wouldn't do a whole lot for me. Really be a fighting type that I needed. Or Ponyta would be nice. Oh. Oh. Let's go. Let's go. Happily will take that if I can. If it'll let me. Holy cow. That's not right. Fenfi's a pure ground type. I don't know why I thought it was ground fighting. But still not super bad for Brock, I don't think. It might be worse than I thought. I don't know. Actually, when does it evolve? 25. Okay. I'm gonna see its moveset. Flail, Ice Shard. Rollout's nice. And I get Magnitude? Okay. Magnitude for Brock's Gym. Ice Shard for the Cacnea. This might not be bad. This might not be bad at all. I can actually kind of live with that. Okay. Alright, let's see what it's got. Ice Shard. I know Ice Shard was priority. That's pretty nice. I think we'll keep Rapid Spin first. We'll Vial here to be safe. Nice. Alright, time to go get our heals back. Yeah, I'm sorry my energy is so bad. I'm just so annoyed with that last battle, dude. I mean, it should never happen. But it is what it is, you know. Intimidate on this is nice, though. I have 2 Intimidate Mons. It's not a bad strategy. But, like, I'm going into the Falconer fight with not a whole lot. I guess not too bad. Got an Ice type. I've got a Ground type with an Ice type move. I've got Flying to counter it. I've got an Electric type as well. It's not the worst. Good. Happy with rollout. Super happy with rollout. Only 90 accuracy. That was more than that. Nice. I'm so tempted to just reset. I just don't think it's possible. Not possible to reset, rather. Just like, I don't think the fights ahead are possible to do. Absolute bummer. It is what it is. I'm so back and forth. I guess the only thing for Faulkner would be if I use Fanfi, I'd probably use Rollout with it, but then you get locked into Rollout. I guess I would just have to make sure I get that far-fetched first. Man, it's taking a while. Is it Fanfi with pickup? I swear I saw that we picked up stuff. Oh, it got us a great ball. Oh my gosh, it got us so much. That's hype. I'm gonna go sell some of this. Get some more balls. Oh man. Because we really don't need repels if we have the infinite repel. Yeah, if I have full heals, I really don't need the rest of this. Potions I really won't need. Revives definitely won't need. Okay. Just to make sure we have an endless supply. Oof. There's a lot of decent stuff here. Interesting. Oh. What's up? How are you doing? I can't complain too much. I did, however, wipe pretty bad. Well, I didn't wipe bad, but I lost 3 Mons to this one bug type trainer. Rough. It's not like I wasn't using the guide either, but I just got unlucky. Which, I mean, it happens, you know. I don't know, it's kind of, I have a loaded answer for that. So I've been uploading for a while, just not the Pokemon stuff. But really, I've only been streaming on YouTube for, I've done streams for a few months, just not consistently, but this is, I guess, the 3rd day that I've done Pokemon streams on YouTube. But I streamed them on Twitch for, I did a Nuzlocke, I think, for like a month and a half. That was, I think, 2 years ago or so. It's been a while. I wanted to get back to it. Do you make any content? Hmm? Yeah, I'm not live on Twitch right now, but I do have a Twitch. Shardy berry. Interesting. What's the nature on this? Bashful. Might switch the nature on that. Yeah, do you make any content? For sure. Oh, super potion's nice. Oh, nice. That's sick. Yeah, for sure. My email is, I think, in my channel description. Let me make sure it's the right one. Yeah, just go ahead and email me your stuff. But I've been actually looking to get into that, just because I don't really have a brand, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's what that is. Let me just make sure it's the right one, because I had two, but I had to switch it. Hang on. Yeah, I have a Discord. It's just my YouTube name. Yeah, add me on Discord, so it'll just be extras here is the username. I don't know if it's still on the old format where like you have the number system, but if it is, it'd be extra number 5513. But I think it would just be extras here. Yeah, just shoot me a request and I'll take a look after the stream. Yeah, I would definitely be interested in that. I do have so what would you charge for like a whole set of stuff? So everything you listed, if I were to get all of it, perfect. If I were to get all of it, what would you charge? Yeah, I'll add you back after the stream. Hornberry. I don't mind that. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll flesh all that out eventually. No, not right now, but I can after the stream. And we'll get to it. Yeah. But I'll shoot you a message and we'll just go back and forth on it. But I appreciate you reaching out. That's really cool. What got you into that? Alright. Perfect. Alright. If you are still here, I'm probably going to miss your messages because I am going to be looking at how to beat this next guy. But I appreciate you reaching out. I'm definitely interested. Okay. Okay, Trumbeak. Does this have anything crazy? What's this speed stat? 30? Okay. I think Pikachu should go out first. Does have Pluck, which is annoying, and a Lumberry. Okay. Yeah, I think leading Pikachu is the best here. I think if I do that, it'll probably switch into Watrell. And Watrell, I think I'll use Cubchoo for, because it has Volt Absorb. So Pikachu's not even worth it. Yanma. It's got Speed Boost, which is a little annoying. What do I have for that? Guess I could go Cubchoo again, if it's healthy enough. Can honestly even go Meowth. Yeah, I might go Meowth for that. And then Squawkabilly. If Pikachu is still alive, I can use that. Or able to be used, then I'll use that. I don't even know. Then I guess I can use Shrooms against Farfetch'd if I have to. Or I could just use Starly. Okay. I like this plan. I think the plan is set. The plan is simple. Alright, here goes. If we lose a Mon, we almost definitely have to reset. Alright, here we go. He honestly might switch out on this. Don't know for sure. He doesn't switch out? Interesting. Goes for the Bullet Seed. If it only hits twice, we should be fine. 3 times? Is he gonna go all 5? Of course. Nice. Of course! Why not? Volts Absorb Witrell. Son of a gun. Yeah, it might be cooked. Okay, going back to Witrell's moveset. Fanfeast should be the play. But I think it'll probably switch to... Crit. I think it'll probably switch to Farfetch'd. I'm gonna go for the rollout. No? Don't flinch. Okay. I don't know if we live another one of these. Nope. Yep, that's the run. That is the run. Unfortunate. So we definitely can't win now. Full switch is insane. Hang on. What does it see on this? It sees Rock Smash. It's faster than me? That's insane. I'm guessing it wants quick attack. Because I doubt it sees reversal. Yep, quick attack. What? I mean, we're not faster. Yeah. Okay. I think we just wipe. I think we definitely just wipe. It's a bummer. Okay, what does Yanma see on this? think I can go for anything. If I had to guess, might go for HP bug. It failed. Speed boost, okay. Do I need to be slower for fake out to work? What is the rule of fake out? Holy shit. Oh, okay. First turn of when it's sent in. That makes sense. That makes sense. I might have to go for bite flinch, but I think Kin Power just kills. No? If we got all 5, it would have worked. He'll go for HP bug. Why would it go for Mega Drain? That's so weird. Okay. Yeah. Damn. That sucks. This thing's +4, +5 speed boost. That's insane. Only twice, too. And a crit. It's got Volt Switch. Goes for Air Slash instead? Alright. Cool. Nice. Wonderful. Hell yeah. Nice. What time is it? 3:30. I think I'll get my counters and call it. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. Damn. I did it again. Alright. Whatever. Oh, man. Okay. Then I talk to you. Ah. Oh, this is rough. Okay, I got the old rod. I think everything I need. Oh, gosh. Hello? Why is it stuck? There we go. I know I probably don't need it, but I always get the town map anyways. Alright. This is pretty consistently Tentacool. I hope for something different, but it is what it is. Yep. Alright. I can live. Oh, first try. Holy cow. There we go. We got noodles this time. Okay, Ratez, not a horrible encounter. What ability does it have? Runaway? Yeah, okay. Sheer force is fine. Nice. This is where I fucking hate speed up. Okay. Okay, I'd love a pickup mon, but it's not fully up to me. Let's switch it to night. I think I'll get a better encounter here. Reap is very good. Very, very good encounter. Very good. Okay. Alright. What's a night encounter over here, I wonder? Flabebe. It's a fairy type, right? I think this is hard to catch. Okay. That's annoying. That's a super interesting encounter. Pure Fairy. Natural Cure is interesting. Not bad. What do we have on Mori? Is it static? Yeah. It's okay. Ponyta? Pucciano, again. It's not bad. Okay. And then our last encounter will be in Viridian Forest. That's so trash. That's actually so trash. That's so upsetting. We're not serious. Brother, we're not serious. Holy shit. There goes all my balls. Holy cow. That's insane. Damn. Alright, not the best encounter pool I could have got, I'll be honest. Alright, I'll mess with natures and everything later. Yeah, this thing is so garbage. Female Burmy? That's not the moth, I don't think. Okay, Wormadam. Okay, it gets Bug Bite, it gets Hidden Power. Gets mirror shot. I guess Wormadam isn't horrible. It's super defensive. Like I don't know. I can mess around with special attack a little bit, but like the only special attacking move I'm going to get is mirror shot, I think. I lost struggle bug. Okay. I mean, I guess this is okay. As far as the run goes, it's not the best. And then Flabebe. It'll evolve at 16. Gets Fairy Winds pretty early, which is nice. So I get Magical Leaf, which is pretty nice. And then at 16, it'll evolve. Okay. So I mean, like, this is just alright. So evolve at 15. 16. Yeah. This is okay. Like this is just okay. We'll see how it goes. Our egg encounter and our Pewter City encounter, we're just gonna have to see. But I'm not super confident. Alright, well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Till next time, I don't know when that's going to be. Probably in the next week or so. We'll be out of town. But, yeah, you guys take care. You guys